I'm Julie Herman of Jaybird Quilts, and welcome to the Alphabet Soup Sew Along. This is Alphabet Soup. I wrote this book a number of years ago, and I absolutely love and adore it, and I'm really glad to be able to present it to you in this format. This is going to be 9 videos over the course of the next month that we're going to explore the book. We're going to go over worksheets, additional tools, fabric selection, cutting, basic assembly of the letters. We're going to create a monogram pillow with any one letter. We are going to go over spacers specifically, and then we are going to do 2 quilts. We're going to do a name quilt, and we're going to do a baby quilt. So many different possibilities for you to personalize all of these projects for your own needs, and you can also pick and choose and do whichever ones you want. The book includes 8 different projects. We're going to focus on 3, but they will give you the skills to do all 8. And the book also includes A through Z, 0 through 9, and information on how to get punctuation and some of the bonus blocks that you can download from my website. So it's chock full of a lot of information. Today's going to kind of be like a miniature trunk show. I pulled out a whole bunch of my samples to show you. Some of them I haven't seen in a little while, and I got pretty excited pulling them out. So when you first sign up for the sew along, if you have not yet signed up, you will get emailed out worksheets. Now, these will help you to plan out all of your background cutting, this first worksheet. And then the following worksheets help you to plan out your letters. So they're coloring book, basically. So if you look at this example, I cut out the letters, I planned out my name, took some colored pencils, planned it out so that I would know what fabrics I wanted to use. So these are the first set of tools that you'll receive. Alphabet Soup was actually the inspiration for the Jaybird Quilts Fussy Cut shapes. When I was working on the quilts for Alphabet Soup, I wanted to be able to fussy cut my pieces. So I had prototypes made, and I really enjoyed using them. And that's when I realized, hey, you might like them too. So it took us a little while to perfect them and get all of the shapes perfect. But the Jaybird Quilts Fussy Cut shapes work perfectly hand in hand with Alphabet Soup. I handpicked all of these sizes with Alphabet Soup in mind. Next week, we're going to go over fabric selection and talk about specifically how to pick fabrics that will be best fussy cut using these shapes to make your projects absolutely shine. The first project, as I mentioned, is the monogram pillow. I love the monogram pillow for a lot of reasons. It's great to use up scraps. It is a lot of fun to give as a gift along with a quilt. It's very super personal. Someone knows you made it for them. You know, everybody has their initial and it's clearly personalized for them. Just took this off my couch. This is my name quilt and I use it all the time. So there you go. There's my Julie. And this is actually a double-sided quilt. So the pattern is written for either a 50 by 50 or a 50 by 60 baby or kids quilt. But I decided to make mine bigger, and I can go over how to do that with you. And I backed my clam toss. It's one of Latifah's patterns. So it's a double-sided quilt. So if I bring this up close, you can see I went ahead and fussy cut the rotary cutters and the eyes of the scissors and the seam ripper and these tiny scissors. So many fun possibilities to do fussy cutting, and I definitely took advantage of it when making my name quilt. The third project that we're going to be making is a baby quilt. And this is the example from the cover of the book. This one says run, jump, skip, hop, play. And one of the things I like best about this baby quilt is how many possibilities there are. So I give you 20 words in the book, and you can come up with any words that you want and make this completely different. So the example that we're going to sew during the sew along, I thought it would be really funny to make a quilt about sewing. So it says cut, pin, sew, make quilt. So just a little tongue-in-cheek for us quilters there. But there's lots of possibilities of different words so that you can personalize the quilt and make it your own. Other projects in the book that we're not going to focus on during the sew along, but you'll get the skills to do, are the 10-inch letter tiles. So I love hanging these up on a clothesline with clips. I often do like happy birthday or whatever holiday is going on. This one obviously says fun. My kids love to play with these. Then we have the 12-inch. letter tiles. So these are very similar to the 10-inch. They just add a little border. I like to hang these on Ackfield wire frames, and these are fun to kind of do like a K for Kaplan, an H for Herman, kind of along with your name. Or I did like XOXO. You can spell short words this way. I've done joy, so forth and so on. If you can make the baby quilt, you can most definitely make a table runner. Table runner is just one single word. It's a couple examples. So, home, and quilt. I'll never get over making quilting jokes in quilting. I just think it's so much fun. And quilt, you can also see I went ahead and made my logo. So I made my Jaybird quilt sign, and I originally had this at a couple quilt markets, but I absolutely just love having it hang in my studio now, and I added an applique of my little feather. That's the kind of thing that once you get a hang of how things work, you can customize and add on so many different things to make your project 100% yours. One of the bonus blocks is a heart. So I made this little banner, I heart you. So in the book is directions for a table runner, which is 1 row, the baby quilt, which is 5, and then a banner, which could be 2 or 3. So there's the I heart you. I've done 3-row ones that are dates for like my wedding date and the dates my kids have been born. Made this one that says cookie cutter. So fun fact, the cookie cutter quilt pattern came out at the same exact time as Alphabet Soup. And so since I was having them both in one quilt market booth, I thought it would be fun to take the colors of the cover quilt of cookie cutter and make a banner that said cookie cutter. So now I've got this. And then one of the last projects in the book is a bag. So a bag is another awesome way to make a personalized gift with someone's name, first letter of their name. I wanted my examples, again, to be funny, so I made bags that spell bag. I think I'm probably funnier than I probably am. So lots of possibilities, lots of variety. Everything you make is going to be unique, which I know can also be scary. So if you're the kind of person who likes to follow along and likes to do something and you don't want to have to overthink things, I have partnered with some shops to put together kits for the baby quilt. And I'm going to give you all the spacer information for cut, pin, sew, make quilt, so you can make that exact quilt along with me. If you are going to be doing your own words, you're going to want to take a look at the second set of worksheets that we're sending out, and they go over spacers and give you good and bad examples so that you understand, for instance, when you really need spacers, because it's going to affect the readability, when spacers make things too far apart. I did 50, 60. I lost track of how many different names. I did a post in the Facebook group and asked people for names, and I went ahead and I did all of the math for you for all the names that were posted on that post. So there are so many examples in here. You're either bound to find the name you need, or if you don't have the name you need, there's going to be something close so that if you have a name and you're trying to figure out how big of a spacer between a T and an H, go ahead and look in here to see what I use between a T and an H. This information is not in the book because unfortunately there's no universal rule. It's not like there's always a 2-inch spacer between an H and an E. There's always a 1.5 between an E and an N. It is determined by the word, and things can affect and change it. So for instance, an L to a T has no spacer. This is exactly where the blocks touch, but there's a lot of space. And so visually, in order to balance out that space, I needed to make sure there were wider spacers in other places so that your eye saw that as one balanced word. Spacers is the kind of thing that you don't want to notice them. If your brain sees too big or too little of a space, then something's off. If your brain just naturally reads the word Jaybird, then it's right. It's one of those little graphic design things. So lots of information over the next 9 videos. If you have questions, please leave those in the comments or leave them over in the Jaybird Quilt Sew Along Facebook group. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be back here in a couple days to go over fabric selection. See you soon.